Hey, what's a redneck orgy? A family reunion. How do you circumcise a hillbilly? You kick a sister in the jaw. What's a redneck's favorite time of year? Halloween. He gets to pumpkin. How do you get a nun pregnant? You dress her like an altar boy. What's a cheap circumcision? Rip off. What do boobs and toys have in common? They're both meant for kids, but dads end up playing with them. What do dicks and Rubik's Cubes have in common? They're both toys my uncle had and he let me play with. You ever heard of Naked and Afraid, the show? Kind of reminds me of growing up playing hide and seek with my uncle. What's the difference between a zit and a priest? A zit waits till you're 12 to come on your face. What doesn't belong? Eggs, a wife, or a blowjob? A blowjob. Because you can beat eggs, you can beat your wife, but you sure can't beat a blowjob. What do soybeans and dildos have in common? Both meat substitutes. What do you call a tractor trailer full of dildos? Toys for twats. What does a nearsighted gynecologist and a puppy have in common? Wet nose. If a midget walks up to you and says your hair smells nice, is that sexual harassment? Two condoms walking down the street past a gay bar. One looks at the other and goes, "Hey man, want to run in and get shit-faced?" How do you fit four faggots on a bar stool? Turn it upside down. What's a favorite come-on line in a gay bar? Can I push in your stool? What do you call one crackhead on a bike? A thief. What are two crackheads on a bike? Organized crime. What are four crackheads in a Cadillac? Grand Theft Auto. What's black and bubbly and scratches on glass? Nigger in the microwave trying to get out. How do you keep little black boys from jumping on the bed? You glue Velcro to the ceiling. How do you get them back down again? You invite 5 Mexicans over for a piñata party. What's the definition of a shame? Bust a load of crackheads going over a cliff with one empty seat. What is yellow and can't swim? A school bus full of kids. Doctor walked in, he looked at his patient, he goes, "Sir, I got some real bad news. You've got to stop jerking off." Patient goes, "But why, doc?" Doctor says, "Well, I got to examine you." What white guy is famous for coming in little cans? Michael Jackson. Why don't pedophiles ever win at races? That was coming a little behind. What comes after 69? Mouthwash. What is the fastest speed of sex? 68. Because 69 you got to turn around. What is a 6.9? 69 interrupted with a period. What's the difference between horny and hungry? Depends on where you put the cucumber. Do you know why God made yeast infections? So women can know how annoying a cunt feels. What does 9-volt battery and an asshole have in common? We know we shouldn't put our tongue on it, but god damn it, we love it. What do sluts and Walmart have in common? You pick on them, you giggle at them and laugh at them, but damn it, at 4 a.m. when you're inside one, you're damn glad they're there. What'd the blind man say when he walked by the fish market? Hello, ladies. How do you find a blind man on the beach? It's not hard. You ever wonder why guys do not go down on their old ladies the next morning after having sex? Oh, you ever try to peel a grilled cheese apart? What is the difference between a pumpkin pie and a pussy? I'll eat the crust on my pumpkin pie. Little Johnny went running in the classroom. He says, Teacher, I just saw a dog got hit in the ass. She goes, not ass, Johnny, rectum. He goes, rectum, hell, it killed him. This faggot walks into a bar, looks around. All there's is a bartender and a truck driver down at the end of the bar. So this faggot, he's like, I won't get picked on tonight. So he sits down, he goes, bartender, could I have a 7-7, please? And the bartender goes, okay, he give it to him. The trucker's at the end of the bar, he goes, I'm going to have some fun with this faggot. So he says, bartender, can I have a large bowl? Can I have a 7-7 please? So he gives the truck driver 7-7. That faggot, he's going, oh man, I knew it. I'm going to get harassed. He goes, bartender, can I have another 7-7, please? Truck driver goes, ha. Bartender, I want another 7-7 please. That faggot, he's getting mad, you know. He looks at bartender and goes, bartender, could I have a large bowl of ice, please? The truck driver, he looks at him kind of funny. He goes, well, picked on him this much, you know, I may as well keep it going. He goes, bartender, could I have a large bowl of ice too, please? Well, the bartender did. The trucker looks at the end of the bar. Man, that faggot's just stuffing his mouth right full of ice. He looks at the bartender kind of weird. Bartender walks over. He says to the little faggot, he goes, little dude, can I ask what you're doing? He goes, well, if that big bully down at the end of the bar don't quit picking on me, I'm going to cold cock him. How come midgets like running through the field? Grass tickles their balls. Little Johnny sitting in the classroom. Teacher went up, says, little Johnny, if you have 5 birds sitting on a wire and you shoot one bird, how many birds are going to be left there? Little Johnny thought about it. He goes, well, none, teacher, because they're all going to fly away. She goes, well, no, actually, Johnny, there's going to be 4, but I like the way you think. He goes, well, I got a question for you. There's 3 women sitting around eating ice cream. One's licking it, one's sucking on it, one's biting it. Which one's married? She goes, Johnny, you go to the principal's office right now. He goes, but why, teacher? It's the one with the wedding ring on. But I like the way you think. You know, I used to work in Chicago in a department store till a lady come in and asked me for a cake. I asked her what kind she preferred. Layer, she said, so that's what I did, and I don't work there anymore. I used to work in Chicago at a department store till a lady come in, asked me for a drink. Asked her what kind she preferred. Liquor, she said, so that's what I did. I don't work there anymore. What is between an 80-year-old woman's knees, or what is between an 80-year-old woman's boobs that's not between an 18-year-old woman's boobs? Her knees. Do you know that God gave women 2 sets of lips so they can piss and moan at the same time? Do you suppose a deaf girl masturbates with one hand so she can moan with the other? What'd Cinderella say when she got to the ball? How do you know if your boyfriend has a high sperm count? If you gotta chew before you swallow. What does the mafia and pussy have in common? One slip of the tongue and you're in deep shit. What's the definition of overbite? When you're eating pussy and taste shit. What does eating pussy and driving in the fog have in common? You can't see the asshole in front of you. What do turtles and lesbians have in common? They both hate plastic. You hear that they just found a brand new species of dinosaur? They're lesbians. So what they did was they did a lot of checking. Sure enough, they're lesbian dinosaurs. So when they named them Lickalotopus. This dude, he's laying there talking to his old lady, getting all cuddled right up to her. They're laying on the floor on a brand new shag carpet. Nice thick pile shag, and he's going, honey, let's turn all the lights off and just do the naughty right here. She goes, okay. So they turned all the lights off. It was perfectly dark. So, man, he goes down there and he's eating on her. Finally, he goes, oh, man, I wished I had a flashlight. She goes, so do I. You've been eating the carpet for 10 minutes. This hillbilly goes to his pa. He goes, Pa, I'm getting married today, but I don't know what to do with her. He goes, well, son, you take the hardest thing you own and you put it right where she pees. He goes, okay. So later that night, they hear crash. All this water starts coming down the stairs, leaking through the ceiling. Father runs upstairs. He goes, son, what'd you do? Well, I did what you told me, Dad. Well, what do you mean? He goes, well, I grabbed my bowling ball and I throwed it in the toilet. Little Johnny, he goes home. He goes, Daddy, I learned what a country was today. He goes, you did? And what is it? Well, it's a big place where there's all kinds of states and people live. He goes, no, son, that's not a country. Your teacher told you wrong. Johnny goes, but Dad, then what is a country? He goes, well, son, come with me. Let's get in the car. He drives over to his mother-in-law's. There's his mother-in-law up the apple tree with his two sister-in-laws. He goes, now see, son, there's a country. Had this person say to me the other day, well, if a girl sleeps with 10 guys, she's a slut. Well, what does that make it if a guy does it? I looked at her and said, a fucking faggot. What do you think?